go! And we are live.
Alrighty, we're already a bit into the draft, so we have some picks. What I think is pretty interesting is that on the blue side, we can see Sona and Leona picked up for the blue team. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. We're gonna see a solo lane Sona, which is likely, and then on the
Irelia band
other
coming
hand,
out.
Irelia band coming out. That's probably the Phil influence. Um,
Must have forgot that you are actually not in the game right now.
must have forgotten that I am actually casting this match right now. So anyway, he is scared of that champion and he does not want to play against it. And
Mm-hmm.
well, it does make sense because the blue team does need a top slash mid laner because we don't know where the Sona is going yet, but Aurelia can fill both of these roles.
A lot of frontline already for Aphelios. If we take a look at Tom Kench and a Hecarim, especially played by Nordic Tavern, I'm really interested to
Yeah, that
see.
definitely looks tasty for him.
Oh yeah.
Tom Kemp can, especially with his Devourer, just save him from the Master Yi. And then, well, the tanky boys can shut that guy down. So that's a pretty nice protection they have for the Aphelios. Aphelios also a champion that really likes it when the opponent is running into him and he can, like, stack up his chakrams with his red Q, if he has a weapon combination, of course, and then
Mm-hmm.
shred through every one of the enemy.
Morgana coming out most probably. Call to counter the Leona. There,
Yeah,
big
the
big
Morgana
annoyance
ban
for Leona
definitely.
and
It also
Sona.
shows us that the Leona is actually a supporter in this game.
Are you ready to see my hacker room?
We are
10 out of
ready.
10.
10 out
Okay,
of
good.
10. Big dirty
Yeah.
control
Alright,
mage here by red side of Victor.
alright.
Scaling
We
really well.
see Victor played by Phil, definitely one of his comfort picks in the mid lane. And we have a Garen on blue side, so that means the Sona is probably mid lane, which is a very interesting pick.
Actual Sona mid versus a Victor. That is interesting to say the least. I feel like they might not be respecting filthy Victor out here.
I think the blue team actually has a pretty big problem as of now because they barely have any wave clear. Sona, of course, she can lay out some surprise burst with her crescendo and her power chords, but the wave clear on the team is really kind of non-existent, except for Swain in the bot lane. But he has to go close to the minions to clear them, which can put him in danger to a Hecarim or especially a Thresh.
Alright, as far as team comp is concerned, if they actually lock in the Thresh here, I'm way in favor of Team Red.
For
The
sure.
entire the entire 80 is solely dependent on this Master Yi. Completely dependent. That is
Yup,
interesting.
and obviously, the main threat on the red team is the Aphelios. He is very good when the team engages into him, which the blue team does want to do.
Hmm.
And if Master Yi cannot shut him down, then well, it's pretty much a free game for him. And Aphelios has the Thresh, he has the Tahm Kench, so with the Lantern and Devour, he can be put into safety really quickly.
I was about to say, if you're an 80 carry, this lineup is looking absolutely perfect for you. You get the Lantern away. You get the Tom Kench eat. It's just you can just DPS away.
Pretty much, yeah. And well, the blue team is pretty tanky, right? Swain can heal up a lot, and he usually has a lot of HP. Ornn is pretty tanky, and Leona is also pretty tanky
Hmm.
if she goes for the aftershock. But Aphelios, if he gets protected by the Thresh and the Tahm Kench, there's just so much damage this champ can lay out that well, it's gonna be hard for the blue team to actually fight these team fights,
Yeah,
especially in regards that if they hard focus on the Aphelios, if the Master Yi is running onto the Aphelios, well, who is going for the Victor, right? If
exactly.
if all eyes are on Aphelios, that's when Victor is actually really dangerous because he has so much continuous damage, but he also has good opportunities to burst someone down very quickly if he goes for the Lich Bane variant, for example.
Hmm. We got a little stream delay coming on. I will most probably press pause here in a second if I can
I mean, you
find
can
it.
also just keep it going and then edit that out.
That also works, yeah. That doesn't matter.
So we can go like beep boop skip doop doop beep boop skip doop beep boop
Beep
boop
boop
skip
scabity deep deep skibidi bop. Bro, what is this team?
beep.
What is this
I'm
team?
gonna fucking real. It's weird. It's fucking weird. Like they have Swain bot lane, of course. Yeah, Swain Leona.
Swain
Then
Leona.
Sona mid. Master
Sona
Yi.
mid just seems so weird. They could have had like a Lucian, they could have had a Tristana, they could have had so much more. I don't
Could
know.
have had anything that is not Sona
They
mid.
could have had anything that is not Sona mid.
I don't
man,
know.
oh
Maybe
man.
poke a piece as a hidden Sona mid 1 trick. Let me actually
Perhaps.
quickly op.gg that.
Actually, the it seems that you actually caused a rage quit on the side of the Panda Girl, who actually went into last game already tilted. If you remember her saying that, she was already tilted
Yeah,
last
no.
game. And I was trying to figure out who she's playing this time, and she dipped. She
Yep, she
actually
did.
said, "You know what? I'm gonna just go to bed."
She said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't want to play against Dagger anymore. I applied some gappage.
A tiny little bit of gappage there.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, while this is actually waiting, I'm gonna get a little glass of water or something. This is gonna be fun.
Monkey, 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 monkey. Monkey, 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 monkey,
One
monkey, monkey,
second
monkey,
on the
monkey,
delay.
monkey, 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 monkey. Oh, and we are loading into the game. Or are we loading into the game? Hello, laptop? Okay, good. We are loading into the game. As my screen is going black.
There we go. What's good? What I seem to have noticed last game is if you just let the game do its thing, like
It'll
if you,
follow the action.
it'll follow the action, and both of us will see the same things at the same time.
Oh,
I
that's
just
cool.
recommend you activate scoreboard for the items.
Yeah.
Outplayed is active. Thank you very much, Outplayed. Gonna immediately do that. Bottom left, interface visibility. Go to scoreboard. Hit the
Are you also at
checkbox.
000?
Yep.
Okay, so it just starts in a bit. Alright, there we go. We are loading into the game as the champions or spawning of each team. Where the fuck do I put the scoreboard on?
Oh yeah, bottom left, the eye. It says interface visibility. You press on that, and then under minimap is scoreboard. You can just hit
Scoreboard.
the checkbox.
Alright.
They have
Thank
a thresh.
We are seeing the first ooze in the old chat.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to
You think we're gonna? You
supposed
think
to-
we're gonna see something here? A little bit cheeky invade. They have the thresh. They have the Kench. Actually, Kench not even here. Looks
No,
like they're
we
just
can't see the invade, but the red team is gonna go away, and the blue team will secure each other, will secure the award for them.
You know,
But that won't contribute to their first level because they shared it with a lot of people.
yeah, they just set a little defensive hook there by the thresh, but not really doing much. Both teams just gonna head out into their respective jungles. Sona actually
So-
going to back to base.
So
trying out-
instead of rock paper scissors at minus 120 this game, we are getting a little invade.
few high ping calls coming out. Let's see here, real quick. Clock synchronization. I'm at 1:18, 19, 20.
20, yeah, seems good.
Seems perfect. All right, very peaceful start then to the game. Nothing really happening so
And-
far.
As we already predicted, we will see the Sona mid. And she's actually started with a tier. Sona, actually one of the characters in this game with the lowest, or like with one of the lowest HP pools. So the tier start definitely shows some confidence in this mid lane for
Absolutely.
sure.
I think both solo laners just kind of testing the water each other, going for small little grass procs, top lane match, Batesy. Again, second game, those two versus each other.
Yeah, they let the Tom Kench come through again, which is, well, he didn't do that hot last game,
Wow,
but we can see a
big
pretty
stun
strong
coming
trade
through.
onto Spezi right now. Spezi going low, might want to flash away here. Lurd chasing him to his tower. The stun will be flashed, and, well, Spezi burns his flash, but gets away with a slide.
He gets away with his life. Flash burned actually incredibly early. He did not respect that one bit. Big pull. CC chain whiffed. Q coming out from the thresh. Sorry, I just had to say that. I actually
And
want to say that Tom Kench getting crazy mileage out of Grasp.
yeah, for sure. And we can see a trade here onto Harun. He has to burn his cleanse and, well, he gets away with pretty much everything else, so it's fine to burn the cleanse in this situation. Of course, the blue side bot lane taking advantage of the situation.
You see here Master Yi pathing now towards his blue. If Liad keeps on pushing up this way, we could see a potential gank there in roughly 20 seconds.
For sure, especially if we look at his health bar, he's probably pretty low. But there's a hook onto the Leona, and the red, the purple gravitum shots are applied, but Thomas God escaping with her life, and Lurt having to flash here, actually.
Ghost pop by the horse. Nordic Tavern coming in clutch. He has a red buff. He has a blue buff. He's out for blood, and he's going to pick first blood onto the ghost horse, followed immediately by instant action here.
Yeah, Tails gets caught out here, misses the hook, and well, he has to eat it for it. He dies, and giving the Leona a kill on the bot lane here, and now Harun actually is kind of in a bad spot, because I think actually with the Aftershock and the exhaust, Leona could attempt for that here, but it doesn't seem like they're going for it. They don't have the necessary wave clear, and especially not the necessary mana, so they will just probably shove in this wave and look to go back to base to buy some items.
Second time now that with Thresh hook has been caused big damage. That is very dangerous to whiff those, especially into a Leona and Swain having a lot of synergy with each other, of course, with the Swain pull.
And if we take a look at this mid lane, ooh,
okay,
you see both players crashing. Filthy trying to go for the kill, but Pokepiece actually escaping, and Filthy now, he does not have the health and does not have the mana to push out this wave. So this is actually kind of bad for him. I can't really see how big the opponent's wave is, but he might have to go base on a pushing wave here, which would be bad for him. Now we see the teleport coming in from Pokepiece, so we might just see Filthy matching that. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
And he matches it together with a gank from Tails. Let's see if he can connect the hook. The exhaust is out, the play is there. Filthy is running away from the Master Yi with the phase rush, and well, we see nothing happening because Reggie was covering for his mid laner. Oh, we see a trade going down in the top lane. Lurt stunning Spezi in this instance, and he should be able to walk this off. He still has the thick skin, he could shield himself, but it's not needed. He will go for the regeneration.
Going for an invade here into Raptors. Flash Flay. He's gonna get the flash again from the... Oh yeah. They got the flash from the Master Yi, and now it's basically followed by the horse.
The trade in the top lane, Lurt going low, but he gets the stun onto Spezi and he can just slobber him down with his tongue.
That is so strong. So strong.
And we saw a very, very successful roam by Tails here into the Raptor camp of Reggie to go for this invade kill, and Nordic Tavern with the Ghost and the Predator, he had just so much movement speed to get behind the Master Yi and knock him back into Tails to grab the kill.
Ult coming out now by... Oh, sorry. Actually, that was an interesting ult by Victor. They just seemed to have gone for a little bit of poke, or maybe clear the wave. I didn't quite see that, actually.
Yeah, Filthy just kind of wants to make Pokepiece's life kind of hell here, because he is pushing the wave, and ooh, Pokepiece gets the stun under the tower, but Filthy, he can't just walk it off. Pokepiece not enough mana to get the kill in this case, and this is pretty bad for Pokepiece right now, because Sona does not, ooh, see an engage onto Harun, landed, but then the exhaust comes in afterwards, but the tower is just too close.
Yeah. Big roots coming out there. Oh, they actually, the Q connects by the Thresh.
But Harun doesn't go for the chase down.
Yeah.
They are aware that Swain still has his barrier up, so if they chase too far, they might be in some trouble, especially because Leona's cooldowns would have come back at that point. So they tread with caution and they don't overstep.
By the way, treading with caution here, the Ghost Horse is trotting with caution. He's going in for an invade again, making this Master Yi's life, Reggie's life, really, really bad. I don't think he can contest him at all. He's pegging it out, but no one's in a real position to actually scratch that. The bot lane is now rotating over to the red buff. They're gonna try to force him off.
Nordic Tavern. Ooh, the blast cone to knock him over. Nordic Tavern will most likely have to ult away here. Oh no, he just uses his E. Reggie just, he goes back in, goes on the Master Yi. The
Absolute bad
spear
luck.
connects. Yeah, but now there's the re-engage from the blue team, and they will trade this kill. I do not actually know if that was worth it, because the hacker room should have had a shutdown at this point. And he also flash on Filthy here. Ooh, but Pokepiece gets stunned up. There's no follow-up from the engage of Betsy. So Phil just gets out with the lantern, and that's an orange flash expended for nothing.
Yep. I don't think they really took that. Either they didn't have vision on the thresh, or they just didn't take into consideration. Meanwhile, here 2v1, he's actually testing his limits here. Big heal coming out with a heal. No, but he's only gonna get a 1-for-1 trade.
Arekusu was able to get the level 6 during this trade, and well, Harun had the advantage with the Moonlight Vigil, but it didn't do anything. You know, we see the gank on the top side. Can Lord pick up the kill on Spezi? It seems not. He just
Forced to
flashed
flash
out.
out, immediately comes back in,
Re-engage.
whiffs the Q. I think he can just walk out of this. He has his shield.
He still has the shield. Master, he has to watch out. He gets stunned up. The meditation gets cancelled, but there's no kill because Spezi is still here and he is threatening Lord.
Of course, Master Yi being here on the top side of the map leaves the dragon completely open, and that is instantly taken advantage of by Nordic Tavern.
If we look into the mid lane again, we can see, as I already talked about, during champs like that, this matchup is probably not one that Sona wants to play. Victor just has so much more wave clear and so much more poke, and Sona has a really hard time contesting him in the lane.
Oh my goodness. GP Lurd surviving that.
Ooh, we see an engage onto Harun in the bot lane. There's a lantern, but he will be able to grab it. He drops low though. But we can see both ults burn. Never mind, they kind of catch up to him.
They
and
can't pinch the kill.
We see a top lane fall, but yeah, a lot of action on the Rift right now. We didn't see the kill in the top lane. Ooh, Phil actually gets ganked by the Master Yi. He gets picked up very easily. He was not careful with his HP, and Nordic Tavern, well, grabbing revenge for his top laner. And he will shove out this wave and give him a good wave state to come back on.
And a little unfortunate that literally everything happened at once. I believe those were 5 kills in the span of like 15 seconds.
And sadly, the Danwolf production. Ooh, a hook onto Swain connects. The power shot will help with some damage. Harun takes the lantern to get away from the Leona. And he nails the Q. He snipes Arekusu. He gets the kill. And there's the Moonlight Vigil. Maybe that's a bit too far. Yeah, he gets a good shot in, but that's the Leona, buddy. You're not gonna kill her with that shot.
Yeah. Looks like he actually curved the bullet there on that snipe. That is crazy.
There's some pinpoint precision by Harun here in the spot lane. And now we can see the Victor being back on the case. He is pushing in the mid lane.
Ooh, very dangerous. I feel like Master Yi hesitated there. I feel like he was in Alpha Strike range and could have followed him through that lantern, but decided against it.
It's always a dangerous game to take one of these lanterns, and we see a tower dive in the mid lane. Not really that much of a tower dive, it was just pick up by Nordic Tavern here. Filthy kinda gave him that kill on a silver platter. Now GP Lurd going for some trades in the top lane again, but well, it's a tank versus tank matchup. Not a lot is gonna happen. We're gonna see this kind of trading a lot. But if we look at the minimap, we can see the mid lane tower is under attack. And it seems that the Herald will be put down, so this mid lane turret hasn't lived this last minute.
Yeah, teleport actually coming in an effort to save it. The teleport actually makes it through.
They don't take the tower. I'm pretty sure they could have just taken the tower after the teleport and gone for the trade, but there's a hook on the Master Yi. He has to flash out. There's another teleport coming in. The Ornn ulti rings the horn, and Filthy gets knocked up. He has no flash. He's caught out. There's another knock-up. He's gonna fall in this case. And Tails and Nordic Tavern. Ooh, there's a hook onto Pokepiece. And the tower, oh, it doesn't do enough damage.
At the end of the day, they turned
red
something
team
that was really bad into something that was actually really good.
I think this was a pretty big blunder for the red team. The Moonlight Vigil coming on the bot lane, but it won't hit. The red team, well, they could have just hit the tower one more time and then won the trades. They kind of just didn't though, so it ended up being super bad for them with a pick on Filthy.
Teleport coming in from Filthy, trying to assert his presence in mid lane now. Actually, stepping into the river. perhaps trying to roam bot lane, but realizing he's flash coming in here.
Ooh, there's a flash by Pommescott. Hagen dodges the E though, gets stunned up. There's no follow-up by Alexu. Pommescott just fighting the Aphelios 1v1. Sway is executed during the battle. Pommescott just loses some 1v1 to Aphelios. She's 2 levels below him.
I don't think anyone could have expected that.
We see Batesy getting gobbled up by GP Lurt. He's going for the chase, but the Abyssal Dive, or Voyage, I don't know what's it called anymore, is gonna miss. Now we just see them punch each other, and Spezi comes out on top. There's a Master Yi in the bot lane. Q's Hagen overstayed, and that's a good shutdown on the Master Yi. You want that money on this jungler to, well, turn this game around. That's the only AD threat in this game.
Absolutely, though it looks like actually if you take a look at the items here for a second, Master Yi going, of course, he has Hammer Blades in his rune set, he's getting a Serrated Dirk, he's going for lethality. I don't know if that's the best idea versus Thresh, Hecarim, and Tom Kench. It'll be great at taking out Aphelios, but this could have perhaps been a blunder if your entire AD threat is like resting on your shoulders.
I do see the idea of going lethality when everyone else on your team does magic damage, because there's not going to be a lot of armor on the enemy team, so lethality is the good option. But if we look at the champions, we actually have Tom Kench, who does like to itemize into armor. Same goes for Hecarim, and also Thresh. These are not targets that you can just simply one-shot as a lethality Yi. We also have Exhaust on Tails, which rewards lethality Yi's ability to deal a lot of damage in a quick time, because lethality does not rely on the true damage that an attack speed Yi would. He usually does physical damage.
They're kind of running down Sona here in the mid lane, but she actually gets a really nice double ult, but that will not save her.
Yeah, Nordic Diamond has the Predator. Now there's a gank in the bot lane. Master Yi onto Hagon. He gets pretty much popped immediately. Krantz don't do anything to get GP Lord TPing down, but he will just get caught up. Tails just dipped, and the Lantern won't do a lot. And Master Yi picking up another kill, gets slowed up here though. Actually not slowed, but stunned. Cannot be slowed. Tails in a very bad spot. He is going for the execute, it seems, and Spacey is a bit too slow to catch up here. Tails actually not going for the execute after all. He's going to the jungle. This happens while Reggie is getting caught out in the jungle, and Donas is killed too filthy in this case.
Incredibly unfortunate for Red Team though.
Yeah, Nordic Tavern and Filthy will be able to pick up the dragon here, so it's a net positive for the red team in general, but it's still a pretty close game if you look at the kills. However, if you look at the gold, the red team actually has a good advantage. We already have taken down the first towers in top and mid lane, so there's already a 4k gold lead for the red team.
So everybody's sort of more or less completing their mythic items at least. No surprise here.
We can see a little engage here by Spezi onto Filthy and GP Lurt, but they just don't have the damage, and there's a fight in the bot lane as well. Alexu falls, and in the top lane Spezi is gobbled up. Pokepiece just dies as well, his tank is not there, and the gank onto the bot lane is successful.
That's
There's 4 kills on the map. No, Master Yi is still alive, but 4 kills by the red team. This is a dire situation for blue team. They will have to make a good comeback here, and well, frankly, with the scaling they have, it's going to be very hard. They're going to have to outplay red team on a pretty big level. Swain does scale a lot, yes, but is he going to scale harder than a comp that has a Victor and an Aphelios and is generally pretty tanky?
Using those kills, of course, red team setting up a lot of vision deep inside of the jungle of blue team, getting their objectives, getting their jungle camps. As we saw, they took both, I believe those were tier 1 towers, in bot and top lane.
Ooh, Hago getting stunned up. He has no access to the cleanse, and there's wards put on the lantern, so he can't take it to get out. Now Veggie has to play flash away, but a double stun by Pokepiece. Filthy will fall here. No, he has a flash. Pokepiece chases after, but no damage abilities on the auto attack won't do it. Now GP Lord has to run away here, but he is actually waiting. He wants the gray skin to recover. Or was it thick skin? I forgot the name. Nordic Tavern. Whoa, that's a lot of damage onto Pokepiece. The Predator Hecarim doing a lot of work. And now Spezi has to watch out. He's cornered by GP Lurt, Tails, and Nordic Tavern.
Spezi not fooling anybody over there with this little call spot. Buying time, but from nobody. And he's just getting clobbered to death.
Yep, this is a pretty easy pickup here for the red team. Arexu and Pomascot, however, return at least somewhat and take the bot lane tier 1, but that is not worth it. We can see the gold lead for the red team is now at almost 7,000 gold, and they will take this Rift Herald to keep on pushing further.
Yeah, that tower right there was like putting a band-aid on a gaping wound. It's nice to have, but ultimately not gonna save them. They really need to. I don't know. What do you do in this situation? If you're a blue team right now, how do you start to climb back here?
I mean, honestly, they kind of have to go for a mythical team fight right there. A big Ornhorn, a big Leona ult, a big Sona ult could all do like the trick if they can manage to hit that. But that's gonna be like a big shot in the dark. Like they're gonna probably have to flip on third dragon, and if they don't, well, the red team is just gonna outscale, and they're already far ahead. Being behind against this comp that has such good scaling feels super bad, especially when your main damage is a Master Yi.
Yep. 3-3-2 by Master Yi now. Just feel like he doesn't have a lot of impact, or he could. He's just.
Oh, Nordic Tavern good for the engage onto Reggie here actually. Reggie gets feared off, but Nordic Tavern can burst him down and he will get caught out. See, this is for example what I'm talking about. 1,000 gold for Master Yi, that's pretty big. And now Filthy has to run away from Spatesy. Reggie will survive the top bench. Arexu also, oh, he actually is in danger, gets spit out. Thomas got stunning up GP Lurk though. And now we see this was a 2-for-1. Oh, Spatesy going back in the Moonlight Vigil, does a lot of damage. Here comes Master Yi though, gets the kill, will get exhausted, but he does not get picked up.
Chasing Thresh, now we got Pumice, Scott, Arexu, and Spezi. He's got the Moby boots. I think he's gonna get away.
He can dodge the eye of the plane. Oh, after possible. Nice dodge on the Zenith blade. Tails escapes with his life here, but for sure not a good trade for the red team. I think that was a 4-for-2. And well, we saw the 1,000 gold shutdown for the Master Yi. He has now completed his collector, and he will go further into lethality or maybe even crit since he picked up the collector. And that's a lot of gold on a character he don't want to have a lot of gold as the red team.
Just what he needed right now. This is like his drive to get back into the game. With this extra gold, with the collector now, with the longsword, he's gonna try to make something happen. See if he can pick off perhaps one of the squishies. Looking at Filthy, looking at Rahavun.
Harun is pretty squishy here, but he also has the shield bow and the thresh to protect him. Let's keep that in mind. But, well, this fight, it worked. Reggie actually got a hang of Harun. And now, Nordic Tavern slowed up. Actually has to run away. He uses his ult defensively, but he will get out. Both junglers, no ult in this case. But Nordic Tavern is pretty low. So it's going to be hard for him to start up this dragon or to engage it into the
Reggie actually might die now to this field. He's not enough. Yeah, he's completely out. This looks like it's going to be a free dragon now for red team. They're going to see if they can make something happen. Perhaps one over the wall. It's not going to work. Soda over the wall does not connect. Big engage now from Leat and from Leona, both diving onto each other's backlines. Who's going to kill the tank first? I think that's going to decide.
Both of them really tanky, but GP Lurk does have the support by Filthy, so they can actually do a Arexu and hook piece here. So Arexu actually gets a pretty big pullback onto Filthy, and he gets a big heal. So GP Lurk and Filthy both will fall, but Nordic Tavern and Tails are able to follow up because they were able to kill the Leona quicker than the top 10 was able to fall here.
Oh, no. I think, well, that fight definitely went in favor for red team. They got the dragon, and
For sure, I think the blue team was a bit overzealous with their engage here. The Master Yi fell pretty early. He meditated in the Chaos Storm, but well, it appears his meditation was not strong enough as he was just picked up, and it was really hard for the blue team to fight this fight here. So it's actually surprising they got a few picks.
I think perhaps I wasn't really paying attention, but looks like perhaps a bit of a preemptive.
Tails has to watch out here, he goes really low. The Moonlight Vigil comes out with the root on multiple people. Nordic Tavern though, he's dropping really low. The Swain are gonna pick up the kill here.
That is a dead horse.
And we see red team crumbling a bit. If they keep like overextending like this a bit more, then I can actually see a world where the blue team comes back in, especially if we look at Arexu on the Swain. He already has the Liandry's to shred it through all these tanky members of the red team. He has the Sonya's Hourglass to insane long in
Setting
this
up a little
fight.
push by themselves. Chaos Storm coming out from Filthy, try to zone them up with a bit of running away now with his phase rush. Not enough damage, it seems, by both teams. Just the tanks kind of fighting it out with each other. A big exhaust on Aphelios. He gets stunned out. He gets CC'd, but they do not pick up the kill on him. Filthy now in a 1v1 with Reggie. Is going to go down by 10.
Pretty much just chasing down the other guys here, but Hagen gets saved by the Devoured Tails, getting knocked back by the Vasco. Nerd actually going for the backline. Nordic Tavern is onto Reggie, that's the main target, and he is dead, he is gone. Now can they protect Hagen? Hagen lifts this fight, they can actually turn this around, but it looks pretty good for the blue team here actually. They can kill the Aphelios, and Sona is pretty much untouched. However, the Hecarim, the horse, he's picking up the trouble, he's picking up the quadra kill. Nordic Tavern cleans up this team fight.
Wow.
This is a pretty beefy horse, but it will not be turned into lasagna today. Nordic Tavern picks up all these kills and he's becoming so tanky. It's gonna be so hard for the blue team to kill him, especially without the Swain.
Forever. We really saw the tankiness coming into play there. They're actually, red team's starting a Baron here, thinking that they have an angle on it. I think this is a pretty good call. They only Swain here in a position to defend, but there's not a whole lot that he can do versus three of especially Nordic Tavern. Really fed. He's actually going in. He's ulting.
He's going in. He has the ult. Nordic Tavern going super low. Gets bursted down by the electro field. And
I don't believe it.
Blue team can just pick up the dragon. Nordic Tavern. Baron. Of course, Nordic Tavern falls. Arexu flashes to get the kill onto Tails, but he will fall pretty much here after the hourglass. Basically going for the chase over. And now Reggie is gonna have a free entrance on the backline. That's one kill on the Victor. Aphelios getting away for a while. The Moonlight Vigil coming out. He's kiting for his life. Spezi is gonna fall here to GP Lurd, but Reggie getting the kill with the Alpha Strike. And well, there's gonna be another one. Yeah, Reggie getting stunned up here, but Scott is there to help the jungler.
Wow.
And Reggie picking up a lot of kills here. This is pretty good for the blue team. The gold difference is up to 2000 gold. And they have the Baron now, so blue team are back into the game. Red team overextended a lot on this Baron call. They underestimated the power of the Swain. He has a lot of power to actually burn through this big health bar of Hecarim with his Leandri's Torment.
Not to mention Demonic Embrace also finished one now.
Yeah, this one is big, but we can see an engage onto Pokepiece here where Nordic Tavern. He pops the ghost. Pokepiece already on half health, flashing away, but the bolt chase down Pokepiece will fall through the horseman, and Tails locking up the Leona.
Yeah, Scott, they're not allowed to move an inch. He's gonna stay right there. Looks like next point of contention will be this dragon that's spawning up now in less than 10 seconds. You see the yellow hourglass. Everyone's activating.
Already see things coming down on it.
Yep.
The team is on it immediately. And they have a pretty favorable situation here. Yep. Not contested.
Not contested.
Basically a very good soul here for the red team. A lot of burst damage for actually the Hecarim and the Victor here. Aphelios not the bursty kind of character, but Victor and Hecarim definitely dangerous with the soul. They can one-shot some targets, and Nordic Tavern running around space and knocking back into the team, but there's no fallout. Filthy is focused on Arexu, but Reggie is onto him. He is gonna take him to pretty low HP and take him down as well, but the exhaust comes down, so there won't be another kill for Reggie, and it's a 2-for-1.
Looks like now they're just, red team is just cleaning up. They soundly won that team fight there. They were able to take out Reggie fairly early on. Reggie, of course, unfortunate target choice. It felt like that he had to go on the tankier champions there for red team, and wasn't able to get that backline access.
The blue team definitely overstayed their welcome. They didn't have their damage dealers anymore. He and Swain were both dead. Now we can see an engage onto the Leona under the inhibitor tower. God will fall pretty much here. There's just two bigger health bars on the red team. They can just take these towers for ages. They're too tanky, and they will take down the inhibitor here.
First step in opening up the base there. Now everybody can just back, make sure that they can get like a reverse jungle sweep, take whatever farm they can there from the enemy. as you can see by Nordic Tavern here, making sure that blue buff does not fall into Reggie's hands.
They will just
Same with
all
Leon.
reset here for tempo. Actually, GP Lurd alone, he might be caught out a little. But they don't seem to see him, so he will make his way back to base.
Difficult situation now for... These fights have been very... I don't know, they've been going for Team Red, Team Blue. It kind of depends on whether or not Reggie can get that backline access that he's moving.
Yeah, definitely a very chaotic and scrambly game. Oh, Nordic Tavern with the ballsy recall almost gets caught out by Exu. Oh, the Ornhorn is being tooted. Harun watches out. Oh, he cleanses and takes the lantern, so there's no follow-up on that.
Perhaps a bit
But
of a
that is...
No, it's not going to happen for this fight that's brewing now. This is going to decide the game. Oh my god, massive!
Oh, onto the Sona. That was a giant hook, and
Wow.
the Moonlight Vigil comes out with a lot of damage. Aphelios is untouched. He can just shoot them down with the damage. And that's a triple kill for Harun. Nordic Tavern probably goes to change down Rexu. Yeah, it's the last ditch effort with the ult here, but Nordic Tavern pretty much just takes no damage. The wrist fight is coming in clutch.
True.
Wow. And that'll do
Amelia
it.
is getting beaten up by GP Lurd, yeah. Red team will go for the base now. It seems like this is game. There's no players alive on the blue team. And the red team, after a pretty scrambly game, they had a pretty dominant early game. They fumbled a bit in the mid and late game. Some fights were a bit scrambly where they allowed Swain and Master Yi to take off a lot of kills. But they will secure the Nexus turrets and the Nexus itself. So GG.
Sona defending the base. Leona ult out, does not kill anybody. Reggie on the backline actually. Oh, and that'll, yeah. Oh.
He manages to kill Harun. Nordic Tavern dropping really low here, but there's the exhaust. But my game freezes to the
Yeah,
next.
I think the Nexus just died. Somehow.
Leert hat's gefinished.
Leert hat's gefinished
Yeah,
mit seinem...
the Nexus is good.
XPK on the Tamkench.
Wow. And that's all she wrote. Wow. Nice game, actually. That was a lot closer than I thought it would be there towards the mid game, especially.
Ja, ich hab's so. Ja, es war bei diesem Baron Call, das war irgendwie schlecht.
Alright.
Ich hätte einfach ulten sollen früher, dann hätten wir den